afternoon and welcome to Tuesday's edition of the Warrior Daily. I'm Cameron Weidenthaler, here joined by volleyball head coach Phil Nickel. Would have liked to have been 4-0, but 3-1's a pretty good start to the season. You guys have perennially started the year pretty well over the last since you've been here. Talk about what your team excelled at in those 3 victories, and maybe even in that loss that didn't go your way.
Yeah, I think perseverance was one thing. We started that first match and didn't go quite the way we wanted, and the team never panicked. They stayed focused. They kept working hard. They did what they needed to do to come back and finish the weekend strong with those 3 straight victories. The thing that stood out to us probably as far as performance-wise was our blocking. We averaged a little over, I think, 3.5 blocks a game, which was pretty good. And that really kind of went back to what we did last year. What made us successful for a good part of the year last year was we made it really difficult on teams to run their offense, and that kind of continued over into this year. I think for the weekend, teams hit 0.99 against us, which obviously if it's hard for them to score, then it's going to be to our advantage. So that's probably what stood out from the first weekend for the coaching staff the most. So.
And then you took a 5-setter from then 6th-ranked Southwest Minnesota State. I think it's the first win over a top 25 team in 8 or 9 tries. So talk a little bit about what that means to a team. I mean, early season rankings take it for what it's worth, but as far as a benchmarking for your team, that's got to be something to look forward to.
Oh, absolutely, and like you said, especially the preseason rankings don't always mean a lot. They're based more on the previous year than anything else. But at the same time, you beat a program that's perennially been very strong.
Really good program.
Very good. Been to the in-state tournament, I think it said like 8 or 9 of the last few years.
Yeah.
So that was a huge win for us, and the kids were really excited, very happy, not satisfied with everything we did, but at the same time, they knew that was a big win, and we knew that was a big win, and we want to use that then as a building block to say, hey, look, we're capable, but we got to continue to improve and build and look forward to the matches coming up, because it doesn't do any good to beat a team like that if you turn around then the next weekend and don't do anything. So
that's the kind of win that can propel a team through a non-conference schedule or throughout a whole season.
That's what we're hoping.
And then in the first week's poll, receiving 10 votes and just outside the top 25. So keep that going, and you got something special going. Talk a little bit about some of the standouts individually. Obviously, you found a new setter, and Kristen and Candace were solid as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We had talked early in the season or during preseason, and we wanted to diversify our offense a little more. And we didn't quite get to where we wanted to be this weekend, so we relied a lot on those outside hitters. Kristen and Candace both had really, really good weekends. First time that Candace has really had a chance to play left side during the actual season, which is where we recruited her to play. She's ended up getting stuck on the right side the last couple years, but did a really nice job. Kristen Bolkowitz has been the workhorse for the last couple years and continued that as well. Madison Reeves did a nice job, being her first full-time setting opportunity, did a nice job. I think everybody did some really nice things, but I think it was a total team effort this weekend, but those are probably the people who kind of stood out a little bit.
Yeah, Bolkowitz collected her 22nd career double-double against Southwest Minnesota State. Looking forward, really solid field at this UW-Parkside Tournament with Indy, Lewis, Duluth, and the host Parkside. Talk a little bit about what you hope to see from your team and your opponents. It's a good field. Yeah,
it's a really good field, and finishing last season and looking towards this season, I thought we would be pretty good. So we scheduled, it was our goal to schedule tough, and I think we accomplished that. So it is a good field. No easy matches, and that's what we've talked to the team about, that it's going to be, every match is going to be a tough one. Parkside, especially being at home, I think will be tough. Indy and Lewis are always good. And then Minnesota Duluth is ranked second in the country right now. So, and the Northern Sun Conference up there is kind of ruled the roost for volleyball the last few years.
Yeah, Concordia, St. Paul.
and Duluth and Southwest Minnesota and all those schools have done a great job. So we look for another really challenging weekend. We hope to continue to build on our success from the first weekend. and improve in some areas that, continue to do things we did well, but improve in some other areas that hopefully will allow us to continue that success and build on it and work towards our ultimate goal of, hopefully trying to win a conference championship.
All right, thanks for the time, Coach, and make sure you log on to WSUathletics.com for all the results as volleyball participates in the Parkside Tournament.